Gamers. Does Nintendo have a DLC problem? We're gonna go to the self-employed final boss of Nintendo himself. I have given Arlo his fair share of punches in the past, but is Arlo gonna get a W today? Or is the puppet man gonna show how spineless he really is? Take it away, Mr. Arlo man.
Like, this is a real thing. So after the Direct, I saw that a lot of people aren't happy about how the Pokemon Company has revealed their DLC plans for Legend ZA, despite the fact that the game is not even out yet.
Ooh, I talked about the same thing on my Pokemon channel. Crazy.
And in these conversations, it looks like a lot of people are surprised and kind of see this as like the newest gross thing for Pokemon or Nintendo to do. It is true that this is a new thing for Pokemon. They got into the whole DLC game last generation, and Sword and Shield came out November 2019, but the expansion pass wasn't announced until the following January. Then Scarlet and Violet released November 2022, and the DLC wasn't announced until the following August.
Yeah.
That was way, way later. However, announcing DLC before a game's release is not a new thing for Nintendo. Actually, let's take a minute and back up to when this whole expansion pass thing started.
Announcing DLC before a game isn't out doesn't seem weird to me. I think it's one of those things where it kind of sows the seeds of doubt in people's minds. I think it's fair to say the average gamer does not understand how game development works, in the sense that you can make a game with the main team and have the DLC being crafted by a separate team that have like two totally different timelines. Let's say like the timeline from like main game goes from here to here, and the DLC goes from like here to here, and then obviously like you announce it. Like most people just don't understand that. Now, is there a chance obviously that they could just pluck something out of the base game and say no? Obviously that doubt too, but like most people don't understand that like this the main game can have this sort of timeline, and like the other timeline could be desynced essentially. So like you can work on two things at once, and it causes people to make assumptions. I'd say rightfully so. But at the same time, it's just shame that most people just don't know, you know? Once main game is over, they can develop more DLC. No, I mean, the thing is, sometimes that happens, but other times that doesn't. Actually, let's look this up. I'm curious. I think it's fair to say, from my, casual understanding, I think it's fair to say most video games usually finish development around like 2, 3, 4 months before the game actually releases, so they can get the distribution going. Do you know what I mean? Like with the physical copies and the game all on shelves and ready and what have you. Obviously, that doesn't take like a week to do. That takes like months of preparation. I think this is part of the thing, is that most of the time when the game's like done and ready to go, I think the devs keep working on it to fix bugs. That's why you get like day one patches, for example. But yeah, generally like it tends to be like, from what I'm seeing, from my quick browsing on this, it generally tends to be like 2 to 3 months. But again, I think most people don't really know that, if that makes sense. I could totally see a game, for example, chat, finishing or getting ready, should I say. Let's say call it getting ready. And then the company going, okay, start DLC now. We're going to get that working, then we're going to sell the game. And then do you know what I mean? Just to, like, delay the release of the actual game so the DLC can come out shortly after. But obviously, in the eyes of the consumer, they don't know that's happened because these sorts of things don't really get talked about to that degree. You know, like most people just aren't that savvy. So it varies. But this going gold phase usually. Oh, is it called going gold? Okay. Yeah, the going usually happens a few weeks to months. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So I think most people just don't really typically know that. Yeah, Nintendo also tends to sit, at least from the rumors I've heard, they tend to sit on finished games as well. So yeah, it's a bit of a weird conversation, and I think what doesn't help is Nintendo's obviously under fire right now, so everything is under scrutiny. Which, while I personally don't really care too much, it also doesn't help the conversation, does it?
The game industry was going nuts with DLC, and we were like freaked out by it. Remember those days when the idea of holding back content and selling it later as DLC was like the worst thing big publishers had ever done?
I remember that. Yeah.
Didn't realize how good we had it, did we? Well, you youngsters can believe it or not, but there was once a time when Nintendo was much more cautious about how they made their money.
Yeah, like Nintendo didn't do like I remember when was it New Soup 2? That had DLC, and I was like, wait, what the fuck? NSMB 2 DLC. Yeah, I think they released like a free one, but then they also like had a couple of paid packs. This was what, 2013? Yeah, I remember. I was like, what the fuck was this, bro? What do you mean DLC? By the way, some of this, I don't know if you can obviously if you got a. If you can go through like sussy memes, these DLC levels are really, really fun. They're actually really, really fun. It was the first time they released again digitally alongside a physical version. Interesting. Oh, so a lot of new milestones for this game.
Were actually very sensitive about certain aspects of their public image. They didn't want to just do what everyone else was doing because what everyone else was doing was making money. They were really hesitant to start making mobile games, for example, even though that market was positively exploding. And similarly, they
I've got that DLC pack. I think it's what if you can have a way to access the DLC for New Soup 2, I'd say play it. It is actually really, really fun. 100%.
about DLC. They toyed with it a bit on 3DS and Wii U, but it always...
Hang on, Pokemon also had DLC, but they made you play the whole game again. Listen, don't tell the Pokemon judge that, okay? Don't tell him that. Sorry, don't tell him that, okay? They don't know, okay?
This came out way
Pokemon Platinum was my childhood,
the
though,
Switch
okay?
generation was really when they decided
Don't tell him
to
that, okay?
fully
Don't tell him.
embrace DLC, but they were still careful about it. Their version of DLC was the expansion pass, and that whole idea began with Breath of the Wild. And the Breath of the Wild expansion pass was indeed announced before the release of the actual game.
Two wrongs don't make a right. I mean, technically they do though. Smart, they kind of do, because Diamond and Pearl were the wrongs, and Platinum was the right. Do you know what I mean? So like, I don't know. I think you kind of got. I don't know, man.
This has been happening since way back in
mods.
2017.
Wrap it up, little bro.
We were definitely wary at the time. The idea of a Zelda game getting DLC at all was a little weird.
It was.
The game looked so good that we decided to take a wait-and-see approach. The ball was in Nintendo's court. It was up to them to pull this off without it feeling scummy. Now, I think you could probably argue that this expansion pass didn't really offer a lot of content compared to the base game, and locking quality of life features behind a paywall was definitely a little gross.
Yeah.
But overall, this expansion pass thing went down fine. It seemed the experiment was a success.
It also helped that Breath of the Wild is like one of the best games ever made. So if it did do anything like a little bit shitty, most people were like, oh no, but it's Breath of the Wild. No, Charlie, no, but it's Breath of the Wild. But yeah, Nintendo wishes they had that level of PR now. Nintendo wishes, bro. Mario Kart World could use a little bit of Breath of the Wild's PR. Like, no, guys, it's Breath of the Wild. No, I get to right. No, guys, it's not scummy, please.
And they've announced expansion passes.
Mario Kart World sucks, okay? It's the worst. It's a scam.
Several times. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and 3 each had expansion passes announced a month before their release. Smash Ultimate's first Fighters Pass was announced a month before release.
Yeah.
Fire Emblem Engage.
No, but that was Sakurai. No.
Same exact
No,
thing.
that was
There
intelligent.
were plenty
No.
of Switch games with DLC that was
No, but it was
announced
Sakurai. We
afterwards,
trust
but
Sakurai.
essentially half of these expansion passes were revealed pre-launch.
Also, I'm making fun, but like, it's actually interesting to see like there was actually quite a bunch of games that were announced DLC before the game came out. I didn't know this was this many. So I guess I learned something. Thank you, Arlo.
Is of course.
I always thought, like, I know some people say Nintendo have done this before, but I only thought it was Smash. If you ask me right now how many times they've done it, I'll be like, oh, just Smash, right? But like, apparently they've done it quite a few times. Oh, interesting.
Worth noting that just because something has happened before, that doesn't make it right.
Oh, true,
You
yes.
could absolutely argue
Okay.
that Nintendo should have never done this, not even once.
Yeah.
However, if it has happened,
If it has to have happened, it seems like in the past when they've done it, we've entrusted them with the task of delivering, and they have. That's fair to say, right?
and actually, kind of a lot of times, why is it suddenly such a bad thing now?
It's because of the PR, obviously. Nintendo sucks now. It's fun to make fun of Nintendo.
Why is it suddenly ruffling everyone's feathers? What's different?
Yeah, firstly, it's fun to make fun of Nintendo now. Like, obviously, like, it's a lot more scrutiny. Secondly, it's just people just don't want to pay for shit anymore. And like, I don't even say that as like just to clarify. Listen, get stuff for free. Get stuff for free. Everything should be free. But like, I get, it's weird in a post Fortnite, post Roblox society where like some of the best games ever, some of the most like in-depth games you could play are free of charge. People going, oh, hang on, because I know, for example, and I know all of you guys have done this, right? One of your friends will recommend a game to you. What is one of the first questions that either you ask or your friend asks when you recommend them a game? Is it free? Because the free-to-play has become such a like domineering model in the modern day, I think people are just like very like, what the hell? I gotta pay? The fuck? What's going on here? I don't know. Like, so it's one of those things now. But before, like, in 2010, I begged my mum for the credit card and be like, oh, mum, can I spend £12 on 4 multiplayer maps and a zombies map? You know? But like nowadays, we're like, what the fuck? New maps in a game and they're not free? What are you talking about? Like, I think that's just what's happened. You know what I mean? Like, literally, someone said, I'll just play the Roblox River. Literally! And back in my day, we didn't have this as an option. If they wanted to release you DLC, pay up, brokey. You know what I mean? That's how it was. But like nowadays, because there's so many free to options and free to play becomes such a dominating model, paying for stuff is like a much harder sell. It's a similar problem that movies have. I want to make this a video, by the way. I think this is actually quite interesting. I might make this a video. Movies have a similar problem too, where or similar-ish in a, I won't say problem, but like they're kind of going through something else. Where like, but in the 90s and like the 2000s, people used to just go to the movies just because, right? Whereas now, wait, $18 a ticket. This shit better be like the Minecraft movie. This better be like Avengers Endgame. Do you know what I mean? Like now, when people want to go see it, people just don't see a film just because now. And that's the reason why like it's all just like reboots and reboots and reboots. It's like, oh, it's just, obviously streaming services don't help neither because people just wait. But like also it's just the fact that it's inadvertently become a more premium service. Due to the sensibilities of the modern day consumer. So if you're going to do if now that movies have become, I would say, in the realms of, or started to come in the realms of a premium service, people want a premium movie. People want like a cultural event, like a Minecraft movie, or people want like something that's been memed to hell, like Barbenheimer or something. People don't just like, fuck, there's this new film out. Is it? Yeah, so just, yeah. Like, people just don't do that anymore. People will do that. In fact, people are hesitant to do it with fucking streaming services. Do you know, like, it's not even a joke. How many people have you met, chat, where you're like, oh, what's on Netflix? Scroll. Because people are so scared of wasting their time on a film that's not fun, they'd rather just scroll endlessly. So people are just way more hesitant now, you know, to just have their like time wasted. It's really strange. So I feel like DLC has kind of gone that similar-ish path in the sense that I would say it's considered a premium service now. If you're going to be like, oh, hey, there's extra stuff in the game. Oh, okay, can't wait to get my... Wait a minute. You're charging me. Well, yeah, of course we're charging you. Like, devs spent time on this. Of course we're going to charge you. This shit better be good. What the... Why would I pay for this? Well, I could just get Silksong. Okay, then just go get Silksong then. Oh, no, you should be giving this for free. I paid money for devs to make this. Why can't I... am I not entitled to the fruits of my labor? Fuck you, I'll put the Roblox strip up. It's weird, isn't it? Especially economics nowadays where income is very scarce. Yeah, like also cost of living doesn't help neither. Thank you for the 10. It also doesn't help. He says as he gives me a $10 donor. Interesting. But yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? We have access to way too much content, so it's become devalued. Yeah, basically. It's weird, isn't it? Like, as a kid, I would just go into a Blockbuster and just see a game with a cool case and be like, oh, man, I want that. And that was it. But like now I feel like it just doesn't happen anymore. Like I feel like nowadays this film, like a film has to be like it has to be like a thing, you know, it has to be like a good thing. Like Sinners is a film I've heard a lot of good things about and I'd probably be interested in watching. But I'm only interested in watching it because people have said it's a good thing. It's the same with DLC now. I think DLC is kind of in that same thing, you know? To be fair, $20 for one small layer. And a mini game is a bit much. No. Okay, like I'm obviously I think in DK Bonanza's in DK Bonanza's case, it's obviously yes. It's not. I don't think it's worth it. I love Emerald Rush. It was not worth £16. I'm sorry, it absolutely wasn't. But like just in general, it's probably a bad example to use. But I feel like sensibilities in general have just shifted. I think even Pokemon's a good example. $30 for post game DLC. It's like, yeah, if I like the game, of course I want more stuff. Yeah, I'll pay the money. But like, I'd be just like, nah, I don't know. You know, it's funny. It's funny that. If Arlo doesn't mention that, I think I might make a standalone video talking about this because I think it's interesting.
It is certainly possible that as far as the actual act itself goes, nothing is different. This is simply the state of Nintendo discourse. People are reacting more strongly to each perceived negative thing that Nintendo does. Even if they've done something many, many times before, now the backlash is extra
hard, yeah.
I do believe that this is true, but that's not to say that the backlash is always completely unreasonable.
Oh my god, gamers. Holy shit. He's one of us. Oh my... Arlo, my man. Welcome home, Arlo. You're one of us. He's one of us, gamers. Hey, he's learned. He's learned, gamers! It only took me making 7 videos clowning on him, but it worked! He's one of ours now, yes! He's learned! Or should I say, listen, in all fairness to Arlo, he's obviously someone who doesn't care for the fact that Nintendo is under super scrutiny. What my issue is when he deflects or whataboutisms, right? So if he can acknowledge that, Nintendo's just kind of under fire lately, and while some of it's justified and a lot of it's not, I think that's an absolutely fair statement to make. The thing you shouldn't do is whataboutism. Does that make sense? You gotta just like say a statement and then move on. Ideally, he moves on. Ideally, but we'll see. We'll see how the video
But
goes.
that's not to say that the backlash is always completely unreasonable.
I agree,
Many
yeah.
things can affect public image, and whatever the reasons for the state of the discourse is what it is.
Yeah.
For a variety
Yes.
of reasons, people are feeling a certain way about Nintendo right now.
Exactly.
So even if this whole DLC thing is technically an old practice, it is absolutely worth exploring why the response is so different now. And I think
Absolutely,
in the case
yeah.
of Pokemon, you gotta start by looking specifically at the Pokemon discourse.
It's been cool to hate Pokemon for like, I would say like 13 years. I would say from when did Sword and Shield come out? Like I would say starting the Switch generation. Yeah, it's been like very, very, very cool to hate Pokemon. Although I'd say it's been cool to hate Pokemon since X and Y. But yeah, so I would say 2019. Yeah, I would say since 2013 it was cool to hate Pokemon. Since 2019 it's been extra cool to hate Pokemon.
Took a massive hit last generation. There have always been criticisms aimed at them, always little things that miffed the people in the community. Like, of course, like that's video games. But
Shit, is that? I don't think this is. I think this is the editors, whoever edited this video's character. Green beanie, green rim glasses. What do I make of that, chat? I'm like, I don't know. That's got me fucked up. I'm not gonna lie. That's got me fucked up. I see the vision. I don't know if I fuck with it though. I'll be real. I don't know. I have to think about this one. I really have to think about that. You like it? I see the vision. I don't know though. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I'd have to come back to you now. I have to get the fashion police to like vibe check this one. You know what I mean? Or the team. Weavile, Palafin, Dragalge, Arcanine, Scizor. Yeah, you know what the team and Tatsugiri. Based is all hell. I like the team. I like someone who's not afraid of like doubling up on types. You know, because he has a water type in Palafin and then a water type in Tatsugiri is a water type. It's water dragon, right? I think it is. So I fuck with the team. The team check is cool. It's the fit. The fit. I'm kind of a bit. Got my eye on you, brosko. Got my eye on you. Okay.
But on Switch, it almost seemed like they were trying to destroy all their goodwill.
Definitely.
There was the whole Dexit controversy, for starters. Then Sword and Shield were so bare bones, clearly rushed out the door.
Yep.
Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl were disgustingly cheap and
Hang on. Arlo, can you say that again for the Matthew Smart-shaped person in my chat, please?
Rushed out
Can you
the door.
one more time?
Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl were disgustingly cheap and lacked any of the content from Platinum for no reason anyone could even guess.
Real.
And probably worst of all, Scarlet and Violet looked and ran like utter garbage. Just trash. To this day, I will go to my grave, in fact, being genuinely surprised that Nintendo allowed those games to be released.
Yeah, I agree.
In that state.
Just listen, as Scarlet and Violet's biggest defender, Arlo, I have to pause and say that you're absolutely right, okay?
Absolutely embarrassing. So after all that, you bet Pokemon announcing DLC before a game's release is gonna raise some red flags.
Yep, absolutely.
People are
And rightfully so.
clearly still buying these Pokemon games, but the overall trust itself is at an all-time low. Even big Pokemon fans have got to be cautious. You
Yep.
know? Like we're all kind of on our guard, waiting to see what scheme Pokemon cooks up.
We, Arlo? Arlo, are you one of us? I don't know if Arlo... I don't know, Arlo. Listen, all I'm saying, Arlo, is I'm guessing this is your editor, right? I think it was Yoshilla. I saw Yoshilla's name, so this is not your team. Show me your team, Arlo. Show me the team you beat Scarlet and Violet with. I'll do a team check on you, broski. I don't know. He loved SV. Oh no, name three Pokemon. Name three Pokemon. I don't trust him. I'm gonna have to do a Pokemon League style test on him. What makes you really love Pokemon, Arlo? Huh? I saw your reaction to the. Hang on, actually, bear your gamers. I saw your reaction, Arlo. You're pretending like you're one of us. And yet, when the ZA trailer came out, what did you say when you saw Zygarde 10% form? Damn, that's a weird looking dog. I wonder if he's gonna be important later. Yeah? Everyone knows the Zygarde. A Pokemon that was hard done by the fact that Pokemon Z didn't come out. Every Pokemon fan knows this, Arlo. You were confused. You were dazed. You were lost. I can't prove it. But I've got my eye on you, Puppet Man.
Next. Oh, you're trying to sell us DLC and the game isn't even out yet? That ain't sitting right. Nope,
True.
Not coming from you. Again, Zelda did it. But we had reason to trust Zelda. Smash did it, but we had every reason to trust Sakurai. Like, who doesn't trust Sakurai? And the game already looked so good. Then with Xenoblade, I don't know if trust was ever an issue, but at the end of the day, both games quite simply delivered. You know, a person will often worry that
I heard good things about Xenoblade's DLC.
Value compared to the base game, but Torna was so big, it was released as a standalone title. So,
god damn, real? Shit.
Both games completely.
All right, Xenoblade, calm down.
Pokemon, on the other hand, is Pokemon. You want to talk about proving yourself? Well, Pokemon has proven that they are perfectly okay selling products that are far below the usual Nintendo standard of quality.
Real?
And their mobile games have predictably proven that they are okay pushing moral boundaries in pursuit of money.
Bro, have you guys seen how much some of the skins are on Pokemon Unite? Like, you're probably looking at that Alolan Ninetales and going, that's a pretty decent fit. How much? $10? Like $20? Some of this shit costs like 50. I wish I was joking, gamers. Some of these fits cost like fucking $50. And I'm just like, who? That's $40, yeah? Fucking dog shit ass game. Some of the outfits look really nice as well, like really nice. I ain't paying 40 bones for this, broski. No, not on your Nelly am I paying 40 bones for this, all right?
However, we do have to back up a little. We really can't solely blame Pokemon's reputation here. Again, the whole Nintendo conversation must be considered. The company is under fire.
That's 2 whole Silk songs, right?
Right now for plenty of reasons, but
that's one whole Galaxy game.
The pricing. Everything they announce is just
one whole Diddy Kong.
Darn expensive.
Yeah, money.
As always, I will argue that the same was basically true last generation, but
obviously now
the world is somehow even scarier. We're all feeling the economic crunch more than ever. Our money is worth less and less. Everything costs more and more, and we're looking at some of these prices and being like, nah, man, I just can't do this anymore. Video games, they're luxury items.
Even you know you're cooked when you've lost Arlo. Arlo will buy anything. Arlo will play self-defense lawyer for you. And even Arlo's looking again, oh man, these you're gonna go out of business with those prices. Damn, you lost him. You lost him, Nintendo. God, no wonder Doug Bowser. I think that's why Doug Bowser left. Chat. And that's why. Because Arlo was like, I am not defending you anymore on Twitter, guys. I'm not doing it anymore. And they was like, well, I don't know how he sounds. Well, I guess I'm leaving.
And most people can only spend so much on a luxury item. So again, even if Nintendo has announced DLC early before, now the situation is different. On top of everything else, now the very idea is enough to spook anyone. You look at this barrage of products coming out, and you look at all the prices, and you start...
Fucking hell, this is real gamers. This ain't a joke. This ain't a joke. Fuck my life, ref.
You kind of feel attacked.
Oh man, I'm not gonna lie. Can I be so for real with you guys? Can I be actually like so for real? If any of you guys buy this, you need to go. I'm sorry, you gotta go. You gotta. If I catch anyone in my Discord buying this, you gotta go, bro. You gotta go. You have to go. You have to go, bro. We're all buying the Virtual Boy. Nah, you gotta go. You gotta go. I already know one person. Well, F7 Jin. He's not invited to the cookout. He's cooked. He's gone. He's finished. Best case scenario. If I see one at like a car boot sale for like $15, maybe. At best. I think it's like £67 here. And that's even too much.
Attacked, you know? But the sad thing about the situation is that it's not just Pokemon causing a stink. I mean, that would be great. You know, we're used to that.
Buying this now out of spite. Listen, all I'm saying, Sten, is you better be careful, okay? You better be careful. I'm telling, listen, you gotta be careful, Sten, okay? I'll copyright strike that video of yours. You know which one I'm talking about, okay?
Pokemon does something gross. We all rant and rave about it for a bit, and then we move on with our lives. That's the natural order of things. I mean, Pokemon, gonna Pokemon. What are you gonna do about it? But not this time. This time, Pokemon isn't alone.
Ooh.
Oh, DK.
Oh, damn.
We expected more from you.
Well, we did.
But much like in an after-school PSA from the 90s, the poor game has fallen in with the wrong crowd. It's given in to Pokemon's bad influence.
Yeah, Pokemon was like, hey man, do you want to try this drug? Donkey Kong's like, it's like, yeah man, listen, this will get you, this shit will get you that real high, bro. Just smoke it. You'll be feeling those highs day one. That's literally what happened. Want to try LSDLC? Yeah, just right inspire, chat. Just right inspire.
Nothing was wrong. They're like, hey, DK Bonanza's getting some cool DLC. And for a second, it's like, oh yeah, Bonanza DLC. Oh, cool, I was hoping for that. But then, to our surprise, it's a shadow drop. The DLC is done, and it's available right now. That's so cool. But then you think about it a little more, and it's like, wait a minute, the game came out 2 months ago. This is a relatively major DLC. It's a whole new area and a new mode that can even carry over to the old areas. Like, this is a real thing. And then you follow the logic and you realize that there's just no possible way they whipped this up in 2 months.
No chance.
Which means they were working on it well before the base game even launched. Which naturally brings to mind that idea, that scourge of the gaming industry.
It puts the doubts in your head, exactly.
Holding back content to sell it later as an extra. Now, of course, releasing DLC really soon after launch isn't a bad thing in and of itself. Just look at Astrobot. Man, the game launched, and then they just immediately started
gave us new levels
out DLC
literally.
at a crazy rate. I don't know if they'll ever stop. Have they stopped? But so far, all of that new content has been totally free. A gift to the fans. DK's DLC
such cool levels
not
also.
free though. It's
20 bones.
A major
20 bones. Ooh, 20 bones.
It does indeed appear that Nintendo has done precisely what they set out not to do when they really began pursuing DLC. The rest of the industry was being real skeezy. We were worried, but nope, not Nintendo. They were going to do DLC right. They even said as much. They said they wanted to make sure that they brought enough value. Expansion passes were always planned so far in advance that it was clear the teams were focusing on finishing the games and then working on the extra content. That's why it usually took so long to release. But DK, my beloved DK, this
again, falling in with the wrong crowd, man. I don't usually believe the cutting content to resell as DLC now, but how quickly Bonanza came out, I'm willing to believe that's the case. Yeah, again, that's the big issue you make with the DLC thing. You know, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful, man. You gotta be careful.
Does not look good.
It's not look good, exactly.
In total fairness, it is absolutely possible that this is not actually a case of Nintendo withholding content to sell it as an extra later. Insiders have frequently claimed that Nintendo often finishes games
and holds on to them
and then just sits on them for a while until the time to release is right. It's possible that they finished Bonanza well before launch and had a lot of time to work on that DLC after the game was done. But there are also rumors that they delayed the launch of the Switch 2 so they could polish up their games. What about that? Well, maybe they were
I think that's the big issue with Nintendo is that, like, because Nintendo seems to be such a closed-off company in a lot of weird ways, with, like, Sakurai and, like, maybe a couple of others being, like, the weird exceptions in the modern day, it kind of invites more rumors than it's worth. So far, it seems to be working for Nintendo, right? In that, like, their policy is just, and it seems to work. But I think it doesn't, when you're under fire like they are now, it backfires because it causes like rumors to spread, it causes misinformation to come rampant. I think Nintendo's relying on their IP being so strong that any sort of rumor mill that ends up proliferating won't affect them in the long run. But my question is, like, how long can they rely on that before it really does start to affect it? Like, how long, you know? Sure, like, at some point, the goodwill is going to burn up unless they try to do some good stuff, you know? I think as long as they keep releasing good games, I don't think it ultimately matters. But at the same time, surely, like, I don't think any company wants bad PR. As much as Nintendo can shrug it off pretty easily compared to most companies in the gaming space, I don't think any company wants bad PR, you know? They just don't want it. So surely, like, maybe with the new CEO at NOA, I don't know, maybe they might change, like, have a bit of change of tactic, maybe. But yeah, it's kind of annoying. It really is annoying. Like right now, for example, if you're someone who has Mario Kart World, but you're like staring outside of your Squidward-shaped window looking at everyone playing Crossworlds, like I could see you being like a bit like, like, come on, Nintendo, like, do something, like help a brother out here, because like your Crossworlds being tons of fun, multi-platform, cross-play, promises of like free DLC and paid DLC later down the line. They're obviously supporting it post-launch. It's got the 200cc your game doesn't have. It has all the customization options Mario Kart should have. So like we're just turning around Nintendo going like, boys, can we like do something? And then like staring and going, we're working on it. And it's like, all right, Chris Chan, help us out, bro. Help us out. You know, it just doesn't help, does it?
The polishing bonanza in the final stretch. And the rest, the bulk of the game, was basically done. And so that whole time, most of them were working on the DLC. If that's what happened, then this isn't so bad, right? That wouldn't seem too skeezy for me. Future Arlo chiming in here. Many people...
Oh, hang on. I was just about to ask. Oh, Arlo, is he going to do it? I was just about to ask, what about the credits? And I think he's a... Arlo, my man. You read my mind, Arlo. You read my mind.
Pointed out that the credits for Bonanza's DLC are very different from those of the base game, suggesting that this was largely created by a different team. That would make this a very separate piece of extra content, probably, especially if it's true that the main team finished the game and moved on to something else well before launch.
If that is the case, I think that definitely bolsters the argument of they'll work on it after the game launched or whatever. But even there, I still think just releasing it so soon, the shadow drop, the $20 price tag, even if we can confirm, even if, like, let's say this is big confirmation, wasn't ripped out of the base game, right? Even then, I still say it's just, again, all the entire package as a whole is just a bad look. For the content you get, the price it's served by, and the way it was dropped, like, obviously it was going to leave a sour taste in people's mouths, you know what I mean? Yeah, and $20 just starting to shake off, isn't it? Yeah.
Back to past Arlo with his rebuttal. See, but we always come back to the public image thing.
Yes.
How does this look?
They've never had to care about their image, and in fact, they still don't have to care now. But like at some point, like something's got to give. I think again, Sonic Racing Crossroads is my perfect example, right? All Nintendo has to do right now is just communicate a tiny bit, and I feel like they'd be so much better off. They don't have to like, they don't even have to say a lot. Just let's just come out and be like, hey guys, Mario Kart DLC is on the way. How much would that ease everyone's nerves? Because like right now, as much fun as Mario Kart World has been, and as much and as fun as a game is, like people like the prospect of having something to look forward to. That's just like a fact of life, you know. People like the prospect of knowing that, especially in the modern day when like live service games, people almost expect post-launch release. You know, it's almost to the point, chat, where people will look at single-player complete experiences, right? And then a month later, people will say, what's the thing people will say, chat? Why is this game dead? Why is no one talking about this game anymore? Why do people tend to say that? It's because, again, the idea in the modern day is that when a game comes out, the game's not done. It's still more to be done later down the line, you know? Which is why you'll have people going, oh, this game's dead. It's like, brother, it was a single-player game made by an indie dev sold at $15. It was a complete experience. What are you talking about? What are we on about right now? But the fact that that mindset is proliferating indicates that I would say I think it's fair to say the average gamer in the modern day can expect a game to come out and then maybe for there to be more in the future, especially if it's multiplayer. If it's a single-player game, I think it's just, if you get it, you get it. If you don't, then shut the fuck up. But multiplayer games, 100%, I think it's fair for someone to go, what is your roadmap? What is your post-release strategy? Because I know that's something I think, you know, like, when I saw that like Crossworlds was getting like stuff post-launch, I'm like, oh, that's pretty sick. That like gives me more of a reason to invest in the future of this game. I get more stuff to look forward to. But Mario Kart World, I'm just like, I still love the game. The game's still a load of fun, obviously. But I'm just like, what is that? Like, have I done everything I want to do? I like free roam is cool, but like I think I've experienced all I want to do with that. Time trials, I'll probably have more fun watching it than doing it myself. Knockout Tour's still a ton of fun, but like 8 rallies, like there's only so many times I can do the fucking heart rally, do you know what I mean? Online races, tons of fun. I love me a good musty lobby, but like, how many times can I do that? Do you know what I mean? It's like, help me out here, boys. Help me out here. Obviously, Nintendo typically, especially with Mario Kart World, tend not to care about the replayability, the longevity of the game. They sold the game. It's always going to be a banger for like super casual gamers. I think that's probably all they care about in the long run. But I don't think it really helps that strategy doesn't work as well in the modern day to keep the game in like good graces or what have you know what I mean? And some people still haven't tried the battle mode. No, I tried it once, it's not that good. But yeah, it's just, I think it's another case where, do you know how like in the 2010s, the early 2010s when every game was getting like DLC, and it took Nintendo like 10 years to catch up to the DLC train. I think it's gonna take another 10 years for Nintendo to jump on like oh shit, people want like a roadmap and like post-release stuff. Like I think they're starting to learn that with like like Xenoblade is like Monolith and Splatoon is like its own unique thing, so I don't count those. But I think with Nintendo stuff, I think they're starting to, maybe they'll realize it at some point, just not now, you know? People don't stay around to what they have now for much longer. Yeah, I think it's because like, I think it's like we mentioned earlier, right? With more games being out there more than ever, more people. I know for me personally, like, firstly, I guarantee there's a bunch of us that have a big backlog, right? So as fun as a game is, I think I want to say past the era. I think that's fair to say. Attention spans are low. I won't even say its attention spans are low. I'll just say there's so much availability now. Why would you? I think you need to give people more of a reason to like play a game, or just like some reason to come back, or some people like some reason to keep going. Do you know what I mean? I think having that is quite important for a game in the modern day. I mean, Nintendo don't give a shit about that. That's fair, but then they can't expect people to like still sing this game's good graces if that's something they even care about. They don't really care. It's Nintendo. They don't care. But it's just one of those things. I think as a fan on the internet. If you're someone going like, wait, but Mario Kart was very fun. Why are people turning on the game now? I don't understand. It's like, it's not that people turn on the game. It's just that people have had their fun. People are starting to move on. In a industry where multiplayer games tend to get DLC or post-launch support or a roadmap, Mario Kart not getting one is a bit of sour grapes. Plus, most people have a big backlog of games. Plus, a good chunk of games are free. Plus, people tend to move on quite quickly nowadays. What are we doing? Do you know what I mean? Like, what are we doing here? That's just how it is, you know? There's a cultural change in gaming where people need something to stick to a game. Yeah, it's somewhat. I think multiplayer games especially. A single-player game, I feel like I can play a single-player game and beat it, and then I'm good. You know, I'm good. I can move on with my day. With multiplayer games, you kind of want that extra little bit of hook. You kind of want like a little something extra. Or if anything, Nintendo, all Nintendo have to do is just say, there are no plans for post-launch support for Mario Kart World. I think that would help too, right? In that, so like, I think this fervent tizzy and fizz that everyone is in would be satiated. Like, I'd be disappointed if our hand has been dealt with Mario Kart World, but then like all the speculation of will they, won't they, the noise will finally be silenced. They'll be like, okay, sure, this is our lot with Mario Kart World. Okay, and then we can like take the game for what it is, you know? They just say something. Investors might hate that. Yeah, but just say something then. Okay, promise us stuff in the future then. Do the other thing. Then, dipshit. Go. Oh, we got big plans with it. Lie to us, Nintendo, so I can shit on you later for lying on us. Do something. Anyway, sorry, I was me rambling again.
Image thing. How does this look? How are we going to take an announcement with this kind of timing? Mm-hmm. What are we going to assume?
Exactly.
Trust in Nintendo is lower than it's been in a decade.
It's low, just like the support gamers.
A lot of their customers are feeling nickeled and dimed like crazy. They're just about priced out of the Nintendo ecosystem entirely. Mm-hmm. What are they going to think when they watch a Nintendo Direct and there are 2 DLC announcements with really shady timing?
Real.
2 in one single presentation. It's a news story waiting to happen. It's videos like this waiting to happen.
Exactly.
If it's true that it's not as bad as it looks, it's just a misunderstanding, it's a timing issue, then Nintendo has to be pretty tone deaf to not see how these announcements would be received.
Exactly. And then also, like, yeah, as a starlight mentions, fucking Silk Song. Like, if you're someone who was a fan of Silk Song, how fucking deafening, how loud was that silence? Holy shit, how loud was that fucking silence, man? You were made the laughing stock of the whole fucking gaming industry. Because the guys wouldn't just say, oh, hey guys, bump this some stuff. The game's still coming out. We're just kind of like, yeah, it'll be out though, I promise. That would have helped a lot. That would have helped a lot if they just said that, you know? But they said they were just like, instead we were just all going, it was fun. Don't get me wrong, it was fun for me. But imagine it was fucking deafening. The silence was fucking deafening.
Not imagine even for a second.
It's like ringing you, exactly, yeah.
I mean, it's stupid. Let's say for a second they did hold back content and they did the whole skeezy DLC thing. Mm-hmm. Let's say they went full evil mode with this.
Evil burger mode, yes.
If this was totally intentional, they could have gotten away with it.
If they didn't shadow drop it, if they just announced, if they dropped it out later, right?
if they had just waited a little.
Exactly! You have to be, if you're gonna be Evil Burger, be maximum Evil Burger. Wait 6 months and then release it, and then it would be like, ooh, gamers, look at this crispy cookie. I baked you a pie. Oh boy, what flavor? Emerald Rush flavor. But now it's like, ooh, Shadow Drop so soon. Ooh, like and subscribe. Like,
Longer.
exactly.
They could have shadow dropped it like early next year or something. We would have been none the wiser. But 2 months after launch, it's ridiculous. It's like they genuinely have no idea how their decisions and announcements affect us. They have no barometer for what will be seen as yet another scummy Nintendo move. And obviously, this is really just a reflection of the greater problem. They can't just keep ignoring this whole PR disaster. They need to be cognizant of what they're doing.
The question is, do they though? Like, because like Nintendo famously don't care. Is there a point where I feel like the only time they're gonna start caring is when number goes down? I think that's the only time they're gonna start caring. I feel like the PR and the fan backlash, they seem weirdly resilient to that. Do you know what I mean? Like I feel like they're all aware of everything we say. They just don't care. Like I think it's just line goes down. I think when line goes down, that's when they'll start caring. It's sad to think about, isn't it?
It's moves exactly like this that further degrade trust a little bit at a time. And you know, it's not likely that DLC is going to somehow become less important to them this generation. No, they're feeling that economic crunch as well. The yen is weak, so all their money is worth less. Tariffs are cutting severely into their profits. And they've got an army of investors on their backs pressuring them to keep the Switch gravy train rolling.
There's Arlo self. Okay, no, I'm done. I'll let him finish the point.
No, I see a whole lot more DLC in Nintendo's future. Maybe even more than ever. So if they're gonna keep acting this foolishly, keep being this blind to how their customers perceive them, they're gonna have a big problem.
Yeah, they are. But again, it's like, yeah, exactly. Like I think Cam says, it's like, yeah, like generally when it comes to a controversy, you're best off just saying nothing, really. But yeah, like when does it become too big to ignore? And like for me, I just don't see it. I feel like if there's one company that just won't until line goes down, it's Nintendo. They just don't care. 99% of companies don't care if they're making money. I actually disagree with this. I feel like Nintendo is in a unique position where they've built up an unbelievable amount of goodwill over the last 40 years that they can get away with being this like la 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 la, you know, like that. Nintendo's if like EA did this or like Ubisoft did this, I feel like the backlash would like matter to some degree because I feel like they're like their line is a lot more dubious. Nintendo's line is just very consistent. They've got a bunch of sycophantic fans that'll buy everything they make, so they can rely on line going up. They do not have to care about this happening. They do not have to care. Whereas like your other companies, it's a lot more like turbulent. So to some degree, a lot more of a degree than Nintendo does, they have to care, especially in the gaming space. Maybe with in other industries, it's less so. But a company so secure in their legacy as Nintendo as they are now doesn't have to. Other companies that are big, but still like, because remember, game development is very expensive in the modern day. It doesn't have to be, but it just is. So like even your Ubisofts and even your big players in the industry have to like rely on good PR to sell the game so that they can fund the new games. Does that make sense? Yeah, so that's what it is. Nintendo are like unique in this regard, but they just can't. They can rely on just not saying anything. If Nintendo makes good games, well, they wouldn't be able to get away with this stuff. Yeah, basically. I know, for example, once Nintendo starts making bad games, like, bro, Fratanga 2.0, baby. Fratanga, the Fratanga commences gamers. I'm only here because they make good games still. I'm only here because they make good games. The games are good, okay, and I can't be denied. But this is one of my favorite games I've ever made now. There's still a huge contingent of people who will fully positive brand association that will last them years from now at the bare minimum. Yeah, literally. Like the fact that I literally will occasionally see someone going, wait, Nintendo are Evil Burger? Musty, no, I didn't know. And I'm like, first time. Join the club. Nintendo collab, literally. Hey, listen, if they start making bad games, we're gonna make a podcast. The cynical podcast gamers. We're gonna make it. All right, it's gonna happen. We're bringing it back. And the only reason people still buy Nintendo is because they still make amazing games. Yeah, literally. As soon as they start making bad games, that's it, you know?
They're just gonna dig that hole deeper and deeper and deeper. The discourse is already positively toxic right now. The whole conversation.
And rightfully so. Arlo, you should jump in. Arlo. The water's fine. It's a nice shade. It's a nice shade of purple, isn't it, gamers? The toxicity. You should swim in it with us, Arlo. You should swim in it. Next video should be a purple puppet. You should go for a swim, Arlo. It's fun. Isn't it fun, gamers? Isn't it fun? It's so much fun. Lean on. Chris is gonna be great, Charlie.
Is dominated by the Nintendo is evil now story.
Yes.
It's only gonna get worse if they don't start being careful. We accepted the idea of DLC in Nintendo games under the condition that they wouldn't treat DLC like the rest of the industry did.
And now they are.
And we just want them to hold up their end of the bargain, you know? They've walked that razor's edge for an entire generation, and things have been okay for the most part, but they're starting to wobble a little bit, and it's a little bit scary. But hopefully this was all a fluke. They're not going to start withholding content from their games and selling us to it later. It was just a tiny issue.
But we don't know.
Not going to happen
We'll have to wait and see.
And we can all go back to being mad about real things, like how the new Kirby amiibo are 50 stinking
Gamers, Arlo is back. Gamers. My puppet. I always believed in it. I always believed in Arlo. See? It was tough love, Arlo. The only reason I was mean to you is because I believed in the me that believed in you, okay? At least that's the retroactive justification I'm going with, you know? But either way, no, seriously, if you're obviously Arlo is someone unlike me who genuinely cares about the discourse being bad. For me, I don't give a shit. If people want to shit on Nintendo unfairly, I don't really care. I'm not invested in that sort of conversation. But Arlo is obviously someone who does want like the vibes to be a bit better around the Nintendo discourse, right? And if he's going to say that in a way that doesn't do some dog shit whataboutisms, I'm here for it. I think our sensibilities are obviously different, but I don't disagree with the sentiment at hand and the overall points he brought up. Very solid video, very well done. Doesn't blame the consumer. Arlo W, gamers. We have to give Arlo his W's. All W's, gamers, all W. Anyway, let's have a look at the comments, shall we? I think most of the comments will probably be in agreement, but we'll read a couple before we head up. I think the main problem is when DLC gets announced, pre-release, and the game itself doesn't feel finished. Since every Pokemon game in recent memory feels like they could have used a bit more time in the oven, it feels like particularly bad content. Yeah, exactly. I think Pokemon skepticism is fine. I'm never gonna dissuade anyone from being skeptical of Pokemon, even if I am more comfortable with their output as of recently. I'm never gonna dissuade people from doing that, and that's fine. DLC used to be extra content because the game was well received and loved. Now it's just a way to make the full cost $100 to $120. I can definitely see. For me, it's like, I kind of get what people mean about this, but as long as the game doesn't feel like it's I feel like you as a consumer could play DK Bonanza. Yes, they said, I feel like this take is, you know what, people are like, PLZA costs $100 at launch. It's like, no, you pay the 60 or the 70 if you want the Switch 2 upgrade. And then if you want more, then you pay the 30. It's a pay what you want scheme. I feel like when people do this, it's like, it's a bit disingenuous, it's a bit bad faith. Because like, yeah, if we're being technical, yes, like if you want the Game Plus DLC of PLZA, it's $100. But like, you pay the first bit, and then if you enjoy it, you want more. Like, Bonanza is already a complete experience. You do not need the DLC, even if I think Emerald Rush is tons of fun. Not worth $20. Absolutely not worth 20 bones. It should have been 10. If it was 10, easiest recommendation of my life, right? 20, I can't justify $20, especially for a mode where not everyone's going to be into it. I love roguelikes. If you told me Monkey Game roguelike, that is worth the £70. But for most people, it won't be. So yeah, I just think it's very disingenuous when people do this. And I'm gonna hit you with a downvote, brother. It doesn't help that a highly anticipated indie game that broke every digital storefront was just released for $20. Yeah, basically. That doesn't help. Like, I've literally seen people compare game... I've seen people compare game releases to Silk songs. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if you guys have been seeing it. Like, what the hell? PLZA DLC? That's 1.5 Silk songs. What the hell? What's going on here? They discovered DLC later, and everyone thought, and yo, this is great. Oh my god, DLC? DLC? Oh my god, guys. Silk Song has reset the discourse. Honestly, I'm glad it gave people a modern day barometer to measure the content scale of a game. I'm glad, honestly. I think one of the biggest things setting apart ZA DLC is the fact they didn't even attempt to highlight the actual content of the DLC. It was like, hey, two new Mega Evolutions, buy the DLC. Other reveals feel at least relatively clear what you could expect, like how much content will be as opposed to just the cosmetic items. But from what we know now is so little. But they clearly added content for the DLC, which is not priority in the review. Yeah, I mean, if anything, that just means that they're announcing that it's here, and then later down the line they can show us what the value proposition is, right? I'm personally okay with them just saying, oh, DLC's coming, by the way. And I'm going, oh, okay, so I guess you'll show us more later? Oh no, I didn't really see an issue with that, if I'm being honest, but sure. I get it. I think a major reason why people harp on Nintendo is that unlike the rest of the industry, Nintendo never lowers the price of the game. Yeah, also doesn't help neither. That also really doesn't help, does it? And their sales at minimal at best. Most other games you can wait long enough and have the Game of the Year. Yes! I haven't heard Game of the Year edition in so long. I remember this would happen, chat. Like, usually a year after a game came out, year and a half, 2 years, they released blank Game of the Year edition, which was the game and the DLC, at usually a slightly reduced price. You know? Like, for example, I remember, like, what was it, during the PS3 era, I think full price was £40. Normally, like, say Batman Arkham, for example, Batman Arkham Asylum, for example, £40 at launch, but then, like, a year and a half from now, Game of the Year edition, that was, like, £30, you know? Game plus DLC, you know? And I just thought, that was such a cool way to do it. It's like a slightly reduced price, and it comes with everything, you know? Just generally how it went. Even if it was full price, I'd be okay with that, personally. Like, if it was Game of the Year edition, all the DLC, but still full price, I'd be okay with that. But yeah, usually it was, like, slightly cheaper, which is kind of a nice selling point. But, yeah, it's just, Nintendo don't do it. Nintendo selects as well. Yeah, it's a shame. It really, that's probably the biggest fucking, and it's just so annoying, honestly. I miss the army of texts and scores on GOTY edition. Yeah, it was so cheesy, wasn't it? Oh, but I don't know if we have like a good example of one, but yeah, like the 10 out of 10s, 10 out of 10, like 9 out of 10s. That was like, it littered the box with like all of these just to make people go, it was good, I swear, it was good. But as the DLC would have been worth $20 if DK Island was several areas instead of a single area. Like they had Vine Villa, Gorilla Glaciers, the beach cliffs. Yeah, literally, it would have been, but unfortunate. Look up the Arkham City GOTY box art. Let's see. Oh, I got it. No, is it? Oh, no. Look at that shit. 10 out of 10, Gold Award, BAFTA winner, bonus content. Oh, we used to be a community gamers. We used to be something, man. Oh, fuck you, Nintendo. You ruined everything. How quick? I would literally buy it for the meme chat. Super Mario Odyssey Game of the Year edition, gamers. 10 out of 10. Go. I need a mock-up cover. I hope if someone makes a mock-up cover, I'll replace one of my box arts with it. I love that shit. It's so full of cheese. I loved it. It was so earnest. It was so. Oh, we used to be something, gamers. We used to be something, and now it's ruined. Honestly, I mean, you could buy an entire game at 50. Times change, unfortunately. It is what it is. My biggest problem is the lack of content versus the price. I refuse to pay 20 for a Kirby DLC, even if the latter's good. 20. We said it literally. What would I buy Kirby DLC? That's one Silk Song's worth. Hey, fair, listen. Be a savvy consumer. I will always upvote a savvy consumer. Buy what's worth your time. Buy what you want, personally. They're clearly churning out low effort DLC to secretly inflate game prices without awkwardly making the visual base price higher. A little bit conspiratorial. I don't know if I can co-sign that, broski. Oh my god, it's the guy! It's the guy! Yes, it's the guy, gamers. Pokemon getting paid DLC all the games out is the what? Is it the oh? God damn! Some trenches were fought here. Holy! Damn! At least go out the video. At least watch the video. Go hop back on Crossroad. This Minecraft Day 1 DLC. Here before people say, but other companies.
Oh my God!
Easily the largest scam they've pulled in recent years.
What the hell?
I wouldn't care so much if the game looked like it had actually fucking anything to do, but doesn't even have home compatibility. It looks like one of the worst empty games they've ever made. They couldn't bother to make anything more than one city. Home compatibility. I think you missed the actual point. They recently announced it because of the Terra leak. True, honestly. It does have home compatibility. Yeah, obviously people are just being stupid. None of y'all complained when Smash did this in 2018. Oh man. Someone speaks English at least. Getting tired of these leaks. Arlo clearly supports rumors and leaks, by the way. Don't know how Arlo got thrown under the bus with all of this. I have no idea, but sure. Problem isn't Nintendo making DLC, is they seem to be overcharged for content that should have been in the game. Yeah, basically. Where I have no idea. Nintendo has a greed problem. You should make that video essay, Clause, obviously, 4446. You should make that. You should make that, definitely. 100%. A classic scripted Arlo video. Oh, a classic. The sky is blue. You're not real. Truly historic moment. Indeed. Arlo was like, Arlo made a good video. Truly historic moment. We need to have an intervention. Listen, an intervention was one of my favorite snipers to use in the Call of Duty series. Nintendo's not getting an intervention, okay? They can't quick scope. They can't quick scope, okay? They can't happen. The amiibo will appeal to children at most, but being expensive is gross. Yeah, this video was sponsored by... Hey, ref! Arlo, delete him! Arlo, ban him! Arlo, this was a good video. He didn't even what? Hey, ban him. Send him up. It's a good Arlo video. This was a good Arlo video. He didn't stand up for Daddy Nintendo. He was like, hey, this is how it is. Good. He did a good video. Unbelievable. Mods, kill him. Arlo, give me a sword. Arlo, give me a sword. I'll ban him for you. I'll literally go through your comment section and ban these idiots for you, all right? I have 10 years of security experience. I am very firm but very fair when it comes to other people's comment sections. When it comes to mine, I'll just ban people for no reason because that's funny. But I have a very firm but fair policy, okay? I have a very even-handed policy. I'm not too heavy, not too light neither. You know what I mean? I'll make the occasional example out of someone, but I don't make too much of a habit out of it, you know? Because you can't have a rebellion forming, you know? I'm very good at that. I'm very good at that, okay? I'm very good at that. I mean, you'll buy it anyway. Arlo, I'll have a word. Arlo, have a word!
Have a fucking word with him then, ref!
Disgusting. Anyway, we'll leave it there, gamers. We'll leave it there. Good video. Arlo, gamers. Arlo, I'm just saying, I always believed in Arlo. You guys were like, oh, Arlo's gonna suck. Arlo, do not listen to the chat, Arlo. Do not the chat. I believed in you, okay? I believed that you could have a take on Nintendo and the industry that wasn't literally just like, oh, I'm gonna play defense. You said your piece. You said what needed to be said, and you moved on, okay? And fuck those amiibos. I'm right there with you. I mean, I don't really buy amiibos, but I'm right there with you, Arlo. Good stuff. Good stuff, man. Good stuff all around. And we'll leave it there.